Morning, everybody. It's a little warmer this morning. It's -5 versus -25. Anyway, what are we doing? We got the old Milwaukee out. We greasing up the beaters. These bearings, I generally give them 30 pumps. Whether that's too much or not enough, I don't know, but that's what they get. I've got the machine set for 15. And then the wheel axles, I generally give them about 45. Especially here, because it's so bloody rough. But now see if I can slip and fall down off of this thing. Get tangled up in a beater, chew myself all to hell, and spit me out like a piece of pork burger. Anywho, manure's all froze on her. It's gonna end up staying froze on her for the rest of the year now. I won't be taking it off. We did have her pretty clean. Not so much anymore. Excuse me. Getting in here. The 4 most important grease nipples on this machine. Those 2 beaters on top, and the axle, the walking beam axles. Next to that would be the PTO, the knuckle. One at the right on the PTO shaft at the yoke, and then one underneath at the back end. So for anybody that doesn't know, any of you new guys, this is a Kuhn Knight Pro Push 2044. CP and I bought this machine 3 or 4 years ago. It was basically completely hooked. You see here where it's bent down a little bit, see that? Well, imagine it being almost full 90 down. And we worked at trying to get these straightened out. So on these beaters, like right here, you can make this out here. It looks like there should be a hole there, bolt hole, and a bolt hole. Well, previous owner never did no repairs on this machine. That's where there's supposed to be a flail bolted to there. This flighting should be straight. Well, he wore it right off so bad that he wore right into the flighting. So we straightened the flighting out as best we could, and then I came up with the idea to put this 1 inch thick by 2 inch steel bar on, and I just weld those on. That's my flighting. And at this point, to date, I've only had to replace one of them since I did that. Both axle assemblies, because it's a walking beam axle front to back. We had to pull both of them out and completely rebuild them. All new steel, all new bushings. We had to rebuild the pin for the slurry gate, new bushings, the screen up front from what was on there, literally it was basically, it fell off on the way home as we were dragging this thing home. So I rebuilt it and I made it like this. I'm trying to think what else I did. Oh yeah, this steel bar right here, if you can make it out, when you would retract the push, this part, when you would bring it back, it would catch a little bit in the 1-inch floor. It's like a piece of plexiglass, or not plexiglass, puckboard flooring, and it was pulling that floor out. So we put that in it. Now a new PTO shaft, and it also has, I think it's this hub. I think it's that hub. I had to replace that hub and spindle. Yeah, that's the one. On the back end, we also see this little plate here. Well, it's supposed to stick out to here and maybe even just past there a little bit. I didn't know how far it's supposed to stick out, but anyway, I just took flat bar, some 1/2 inch by 2.5, and welded it on, and that's what's on there now. It seems to be working all right. I'm thinking I probably could have been 1 inch longer than the plate itself, but I didn't know how long I should go, so we just left it at that. So yeah, we've done a lot of work to it. Initially, when we first got it, we did. That's when 90% of all the work was done to it. So, but you guys have seen it in action. You've seen what it does now. So I'd say it's a pretty darn good machine now. Anyway, I'm gonna get to work at finishing greasing it up, and we're waiting for Craig to get here, so he'll be here any minute, and we'll talk to you all later. Alrighty guys, well, 10 after 9, and just starting to load first load out. There's at least, I'm gonna say probably 10 to 15 loads in this pile. And being that it gets dark here so bloody early, like by 5:30 we gotta shut down. She's dark, and with that big screen on there, you put the lights on in the tractor and I can't see shit. It just reflects right back at me, so I can't see what's going on out the back end or nothing like that. So and he has trouble in the dark also, so yeah. Anywho, but we're rocking and rolling here now, so I'll let you guys go, and we'll talk to y'all later. Not sure how this is going to work out for you, because I have to feather the hydraulic lever as I drive. But if you see in the mirrors, I gotta get a phone holder for in my tractor, camera holder. We're basically spreading at 3.5 to 4 mile an hour. And I got a phone call. CP. Talk to you guys later. Alrighty guys, so I just timed it because of how far we're going. I was curious. So it's taking me to do a round trip from the yard once I'm full to the field, back into the yard and parked. It's taken me 10 minutes. Can't go super fast because it's rough. And I don't want to risk busting a spindle or anything like that on the shit spreader, especially when we're loaded. Not a fun deal. Anyway, and then it's taken Craig anywhere from 5 to 8 minutes, depending on how much cleanup he's doing per load. So an average of more or less 6.5 minutes to load me. So we're sitting right around basically 15 to 20 minutes round trip. I guess that's not too bad, but we're a lot farther away than we were when I did all this that's white, both sides, that's all covered already. So how many acres have we covered so far? I don't know, 35-ish, maybe more. So anywho, we'll just continue on. So you can see all this stuff where it's not snowed over so bad. Out that way. And back that way. That was all covered yesterday, along with a bunch out that way. I'd have to ask Craigie. I don't know how big this pasture is back here, because it's a full quarter, but you got the yard, and the way the yard is a little farther into the quarter. Not a lot farther, but the little corrals and stuff that we're not going into, I'm guessing that's about 40 or 50 acres up front. And then I'm not going through all these sloughs where all the trees are. I'm going around all that stuff. So I'm gonna say we're probably, of the open area back here, we're probably sitting around, I don't know, 80-ish acres. And I'm gonna be covering at least, by the time we're done today, I'd say we probably cover at just over half of that, about 50 acres. Anywho, time for me to dump another load later. Alrighty, well, we got that pile all cleaned out. And then the last corral, the most important, one of the last of the real important piles that need to get hauled out, is right on the other side of these bales. And there's water that's frozen in there. It's got a low spot, and yeah, there's not a lot in it, he says, but what is in there is going to be a bit of a bag. For me to put it kind of at an angle like that. It's a little smaller corral, and there's probably only like 4 or 5 loads in it, but he would like if I could back in there, but with that pile right where he's at right now, I can't really back in there until he gets a bunch of that pile dug out of it. So, anywho, slowly but surely, we're getting her wrapped up. Alrighty guys, well, we got that other corral cleaned out. So now we're into that pile right there. And it's mostly straw, so there's not a lot of weight. And it takes up a lot of space. I think you could put one more on there if you wanted to. So we're just about got her case to where he has to make the decision. Okay, are we gonna attack the one big pile out back, or leave it for this year, or go to do something else with it? So we'll talk to y'all later. Alrighty guys, well that's it for today. It's 5 o'clock. And it's not my decision to quit. It was Craig's. He's gonna go home tonight, do some cleanup here for the next half hour, 45 minutes. In a couple different pens, smoothing ruts out, stuff like that. And when he goes home tonight, he's gonna discuss things with his business partner, in other words his wife, and see if they're gonna progress into doing another half day or more. It's supposed to get really friggin' cold, like temperature's dropping. It was -5 this morning, and it's -13 right now. And with wind chill, it's like -30 or 31 tonight. Well, -30, 31 for 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. She's gonna be a brutal one come morning compared to what it was today. So I told him I'll be with things that are a couple of different pens that we got to feed at home, so on and so forth and whatnot, and just it being really bitterly cold, I probably wouldn't get here until damn near noon anyway. So anywho, I'll let you guys go. I will see you tomorrow. Bye, yard. We got everything fed up here this morning. CP's been doing a heck of a job looking after the cows over the last couple days. Yesterday she was able to get hooked up to the bale processor and she bedded them. So yeah, she's been doing a hell of a job. Anywho, Craig and I been kind of chatting, texting back and forth here this morning, and he says he wants me to come back again today. So we're heading over there for the afternoon here now. It's 11:30. So hopefully we'll be up and running by 12:15, 12:30. So talk to y'all later. Alrighty guys, well she's 12:30. And we're back at Craig's. Nice looking heifer right there. And then bull on the other side. Anyway, got a small pile here, and then another one further back over that way. We'll just open the fence up to get to that other one. if we're gonna do that one or not. He's still thinking about it, or if we're gonna attack that one big pile in the back over by the bales. So, and out here, we haven't spread anything out here in this area yet, so this is the first for us to be spreading out this way. Anywho, we'll be here for the afternoon, and we'll see you guys later. Just a flinging them political promises. Woohoo! Gotta get rid of all this liberal bullshit. Later. Alrighty guys, well, that pile's done. Small little pile back that way is done. And then there was a bigger pile here. It's all done. But we're working on like manure that's 2 years old. So yeah, like we've hauled a lot of manure over the last 4 or 5 days out of this yard, and we've got one pile left, and it's a big bugger, but he says he can't get into it. Probably won't be coming back until, oh shit, excuse me, next week sometime. Simply because of he's got things going on. And so, but we'll see what happens as time goes forward. Anyway, I'll let you go. We'll talk to y'all later.